Liverpool 1-1 Chelsea. Full-time. Premier League reaction, including, at the final whistle, there could be no doubt which set of players should be the more satisfied. Liverpool had ended their run of defeats, sparing themselves the possibility of a fourth successive loss at Anfield for the first time since 1923, but at this stage of the season they will also be acutely aware this was a match they probably had to win if they are to have any realistic chance of catching and overhauling Chelsea at the top of the table. On that basis, Antonio Conte's men will reflect on a decent night's work even if they will also be acutely aware it might have been considerable better. They had led through David Luiz's free kick and Diego Costa will be wounded that he could not beat Simon Mignolet with a 75th minute penalty on a night that showed the good and bad of Liverpool's goalkeeper. In between, Georginio Wijnaldum headed in Liverpool's equaliser and it was certainly a spirited effort from Jurgen Klopp's men. Ultimately, though, they have now won only one out of their past 9 matches in all competitions and in the last 11 days they have gone out of 2 cup competitions. At one point in the first half, Klopp could be seen turning to the supporters behind the Liverpool dugout and signaling that he wanted more noise. It has become a familiar scene and for Klopp the sound and fury is mandatory if the team are to get where he wants. Those demands tend to wear a little thin when the team are experiencing this kind of distress. In happier times, Klopp's appeals for extra volume have brought obedient roars. On this occasion, however, not everybody welcomed it. Chelsea had scored a couple of minutes earlier and it was a dreadful goal to concede, particularly given what it revealed about the level of organization in the team's defense. David Luiz's speed of thought was commendable and it was a skillful finish, 25 yards out, when he realized that his opponents might be vulnerable to a quickly taken free kick. Yet it was still startling to see a team with Liverpool's ambitions, or, indeed, any top-level team, being culpable this way in another ordeal that adds to the considerable evidence that Mignolet makes far too many lapses to be an elite goalkeeper. His penalty save makes a considerable case for his defense but Mignolet was not even looking at the ball when David Luiz took a few steps forward and aimed his shot over what barely passed as a defensive wall. Adam Lallana, Jordan Henderson and Roberto Firmino were all lined up and Philippe Coutinho was making his way over. Liverpool, in other words, did not have a single defender in their wall and that might help explain why they were stood around like 4 men idly waiting at a bus stop. Mignolet had wandered from one side of his goal to the other and David Luiz impudently aimed the ball in precisely the spot the Belgian had deserted. Liverpool had started the game like a team trying to save their season and had considerably the better of the first 20 minutes. There was no question about their attitude and it was the same at the start of the second half. Another team's confidence might have been damaged by their recent results but there was no evidence of that here and that, perhaps, was the most impressive aspect of their performance.